I'm Doug Beavers, and in this video I just want to show you a little bit about what our expectations are and our safety protocols for our Dryland diving class. While we are still suffering through the COVID-19 situation, we have to take some extra precautions to make sure that everyone involved in our classes is safe. We are following all of the Montgomery County Health Department guidelines, and we are taking extra precautions to make sure that we protect the kids and provide a safe environment. So here is our Dryland room, our beautiful space at 5900 Executive Boulevard in Rockville. And one of the things that we do have to note is that unfortunately at this point we are very limited with the number of people who can be in the room at any time. So we have to ask parents to stay outside of the room during our classes. We will only have the students, 6 at most in a class, plus me, the instructor, at any time. The doors will remain open to the building unless it is excruciatingly cold. We will leave the doors open so that you can peek in if you would like, but we do need everybody to stay outside of the building so that we can stay in compliance with expectations. When the kids come in, we want them to meet up on the far side at the basketball courts. And they will collect up. There are a group of red dots on the pavement over there that will mark a socially distant group so that everybody can stay safe over there. They should have masks on, covering their nose and mouth at all times when we see them. At no point when they're down here on the path, we're on the basketball court, should they have their masks off. The entire time that you see me in these classes, I will have my mask on, covering my nose and my mouth. We are going to be very, very diligent about that. And just a reminder, the Kennedy Shriver Aquatic Center is not going to be at our disposal in terms of bathrooms and changing and that sort of thing. The expectation is that we will not use that building at all. We are just going to come in and do our Dryland class. So please plan ahead, be changed, be ready, make sure you use the restroom before you come over. In an emergency, they will allow us to use the Kennedy Shriver Aquatic Center for a bathroom, but it has to be an emergency. Otherwise, they want us to stay out because they are under COVID restrictions as well. If you've never been to the Dryland room before, this will give you some sense of where it's actually located. So this here is the Kennedy Shriver Aquatic Center, the beautiful pool in Rockville that Montgomery County Rec Department runs. And this will give you a reference. You're gonna park somewhere in the parking lot for the Kennedy Shriver Aquatic Center, and you're gonna head down this path, and there it is. Our Dryland room is right down at the bottom of that path. You're gonna follow the path down. Over here is the basketball court that we talked about, where you're gonna meet up. Everybody congregate there. I will come out after I have cleaned the room from the previous class. If there's a class before you, I will come out and meet the kids right on time. We'll do a little warm up outside, and then we'll head into the room and get going. So as we come down the path, we'll head over this way to the basketball courts. When we come back around and we come into the buildings, we are going to make sure that each individual diver or family group enters in an opposite door. So we have 2 doors to enter the building. What we don't want is 4 or 5 kids from different families who are all stacked up in front of one doorway. The last class will have time to have already come out. They should be gone by the time that your class comes in. But when you come in, we would like you to group up separately. We're gonna come in either the left door or the right door. And once we're inside the door, you've got space over here to put your stuff. Over here, we also have room all the way down here in these storage spaces. On the far door, when you come in, you will also have options here and over on this other side here to put your stuff, so that everybody comes in and can go in their own space, put away their stuff without getting too close to each other. All right, so once we're inside the room and we've got our stuff put in the right places here, I have markings on the floor that are separated by at least 7 feet, 7 to 9 feet between each space. So we have plenty of socially distanced locations for the kids to sit down and wait for instruction. Anytime anyone is in this room, they will be wearing a mask, unlike what I'm doing right now while I'm here alone. But anytime we're running classes, we will all have masks on, every one of us. They will cover our nose and our mouth the whole time without exception. And now let's take a look at the equipment up here that we'll really be using, and let's talk about how we're going to move around the facility during actual practice. So if you are using this far dry diving board that lands in this pit here, once you go down the board and off, you're going to see there's an arrow here down on the floor. You're going to follow the arrow to the X. You're going to shift back over to this one, and that's where you'll wait before you get onto the diving board. The same is occurring over here on this dry board. They come off at that arrow. This person is going to shift from that X all the way up over to that X and get on the board. If at any point we're sharing a trampoline with someone else, when we exit the trampoline, we come off to this X here and wait. Then we shift over once this person starts to this X. We enter the trampoline on this side, we exit on this side, so that we're keeping space the whole time. On the far trampoline, it's the same arrangement. We come onto the trampoline on this side, use the trampoline, and then come off over here and wait. For the purposes of filming, I have closed the doors and I have turned off the fans, but I want y'all to know that during practice, unless it is extremely cold outside, we will have both of these doors open here. We will have that fan on, that fan on. The fan on the heater will be running. There's a fan over here. There's a fan over here. And there are 2 fans in the ceiling up there that we'll be using as well. They will run all the time during our practices. We also have opened the ventilation over by the doors here. There's a vent next to the door there, behind that storage system, and behind those storage systems, there are ventilation grates that we have opened up. So this room is breathing freely now, much more so than it ever has before. In the eaves up there, we have 4-foot diameter vents on either end of the building up above the ceiling. And we have these big open gaps in the ceiling where air passes up through and out of the building. So it's pretty well aerated, and all of those fans will be running the entire time we're in the room. In case you're interested, what we're using to sanitize the room, we use Oxyvir 516 concentrate, CDC approved to battle COVID. It is good stuff. We use it in spray bottles, and we spray all of the commonly used surfaces in between every class. In between classes, we are going to position the fans right in front of the doorways to pull maximum fresh air back into the room and really recirculate the air. Now, a couple of things to think about when you drop the kids off. Make sure that the children have gone to the bathroom and that they are completely dressed and ready to participate in their class. When they come in, please double check that there is an instructor there, that I am in the building, and that we are running a class. The last thing I want you to do is to drop your kid off and drive away, and then for whatever reason there's been a miscommunication and I'm not in the room and the kid is left in the parking lot wondering what to do. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I'm looking forward to seeing your kids when they come in next week, and we're gonna have a great time. Let me know if you have any questions. BuiltByBeaversLLC@gmail.com. Thanks.